called the female recession. Women in the workplace getting hit hard during this pandemic and faced with some really tough choices. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has more.
Raina Boston is a working mom of two who earned a promotion at her human resources job right before the pandemic hit. But running her household with a more demanding work schedule became nearly impossible.
It just was not a good fit with everything going on with home life and kids, and I just did not have the bandwidth or flexibility to be able to work long hours anymore.
With her husband working 14 hours a day at his healthcare job, Raina had to make a tough decision. She went back to her job pre-promotion.
I really struggled with the notion of taking a step back at first. It wasn't my first choice and not what I wanted to do. But if I had to decide between staying at home or taking a step back career-wise, I decided to take a step back. That was what was going to be best for my family.
And she's not alone. Mothers have reduced their working hours 4 to 5 times more than fathers during the pandemic.
Once you have children at home, you need some parent there to provide supervision. Women typically do about 2/3 of work around the house. So a lot of that responsibility fell on women. And there are some 35 million households in America with a child under the age of 13.
And it's not just reduced hours. Of all the jobs lost at the height of the pandemic in April, 55% were held by women. And female unemployment peaked at 15.5%, which was higher than the overall and male unemployment rates.
The shutdown hit the industries that were more likely to hire women: hotels, travel, restaurants, retail shops. That meant that women were sent home and more likely to be out of work than men. And of course, those were jobs where they couldn't actually work from home.
But despite the setback, Raina is hopeful she'll continue to advance.
Careers are long, so I know that I will be able to bounce back.
For Good Morning America, Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
Careers are long. She will bounce back.
Yeah, and this is a discussion I know so many of my girlfriends are having right now.
The female recession. The female recession.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Recha HaQuadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Also a sincere shalom to the other elders around the globe in various camps, and you brothers out here making up that body and making up the body in truth. Also, shalom to you few sisters. Shalom. Anyway, I want to go into this video. As I will do, I will skate lightly because this topic in itself, just putting the video up will flag you. But I'm kind of going on it. A younger brother, GMS Lions 15, sent me this video, I think Saturday, and I said, well, I'm gonna get to it today. Okay, so anyway, this woman here, she says, and various other women around the country, they call it a female recession, right? Now, I don't know where the separation comes, because there's also a male recession. Right? There's also men who have lost jobs, who have lost their careers, who have been kicked out of their homes because they can't provide, right, and do the right thing, supposedly, who can't pay child support. And it's been a male recession for years, okay, especially in the so-called black community, right? That's been the case. We cannot, the so-called black, and it'll sound like a complaint because the Most High says to complain, right? We have, we've seen a situation where our counterparts are flourishing. And we see now, because a lot of these jobs were set up for women, obviously when the pandemic hit, a lot of women will lose their jobs, right? A lot of office workers, a lot of school workers, bus drivers, daycare operators, and so forth and so on. Because why? Because this place, the way it was built. Also, you have the men who, while the women were flourishing in these jobs, were struggling to make ends meet, okay, because they have to pay child support. They have to try to keep up in the industry that was not set up for men, especially unless it was hard labor, right? So I'm not trying to make this out of a wronged act, so to speak, but we know what the scriptures say, right? I don't got to make it out of anything. The Most High has already set it up, and it's what it is. Again, I'm trying to remain spiritual, okay, of course, and keep it YouTube guidelined. But y'all, everybody who's in the know see this picture and they see what they see, right? And you can kind of put it together. Okay, so let's go to Jeremiah 44 and 18, 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. Now, I heard the lady in the news at the end say she's got to tell her sisters and fellow girlfriends about the situation or whatever. But I thought we were equal. This is what's been said, and if we are equal, then we suffer the same consequences. But somehow, when it comes to situations like this, it's a female recession. It's never been a male recession. I'm kind of confused there. Maybe somebody can help me out with that. And if she's with her husband and she's in a recession and she's suffering and he's got to take on all the extra work and make the extra money, that would make him suffer in a state of suffering as well. In fact, more, because he has to pick up the bigger slack. I'm just saying. That's just what it is. But trying to keep it clean, you can see who this woman is and who she's trying to be. Okay? So, let's go to Jeremiah 4 and 30. I'm just reading the Bible. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with paintings, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers shall despise thee. They will seek thy life. Okay? For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish of her that bringeth forth her first child. Right? So, a lot's coming to pass. And we're in 2021, and we're going to see some things more likely happen. Okay? The voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, Woe to me now, for my soul is wearied because of murderers. Okay? And ultimately, when things go south, ultimately, this is going to be the spirit that's going to be out there. If you could get what I'm saying with that. Okay, this says, let me go into Jeremiah 44 and 20. Then Jeremiah said unto the people, to the men, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which have given him the answer, saying, it says, the incense that ye burn into the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings, your princes, and the peoples of the land, did not the Lord remember them, and came not into his mind? So that the Lord could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse without inhabitant as this day. See, a lot of people think, and they thought that then, even going back to time of Noah, because generation past and generation past, that it's going to continue, and you're going to flourish, and everything's going to be great, until ultimately the Lord comes with the sweeping flood, like he says in the scriptures, the days of Noah when the people were eating and drinking and the flood came and took them. So this flood will come and take them too. Right? I think the biggest thing now is, which has been in the society, is everybody has wanted to be successful. And then we could see, I'll just say it like this so everybody understand, our counterparts was one of the main ones that was kind of under us in a sense and following the leadership on how things are supposed to go. Well, now, because Jake, and everybody know what I say when I say Jake is in such a low state, she has now found another avenue to roll. And she thinks that there's not going to be no harm. There's not going to be no problems. Right? So, when you go into this, back up in the story, they was burning incense to the Queen of Heaven because they said, when we do this, God shows us love. So the Most High tricked them into believing if they burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, then they would be doing good. And that's what happens to us throughout time. We always followed idolatrous worship, and it seemed like it done favor to us. That's why we continue to do it, which the Lord has allowed it. But then ultimately, our sins, our iniquities are accomplished, and then we're ultimately caught in the trap, so to speak. Okay, it says, so that the Lord could no longer bear because of the evil doings and because of the abomination which ye have committed. Therefore your land is desolate and an astonishment and a curse without inhabitant as this day, because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against the Lord, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord. That man, was one time everybody was into the church, especially the black community. I mean, the reason why it didn't work because it wasn't time, and you was calling on the wrong God, the wrong power. You didn't know who you were. You was following the wiles of wickedness. Goes on to say, nor walked in the law, nor walked in his law. We see this here, what we're seeing. Nor in the statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil has happened upon you as at this day. Right? So I just wanted to touch on that. I just wanted to go into the fact that it seems kind of crazy that this is called a female recession, but it's never called a male recession. Why? I don't understand why there's a separation. See, either a recession or it's not. It's like saying this is saying, well, all the men that lost their jobs is not accountable. It doesn't matter to them. Nor does anybody care about it. That's where we're living today. And it's so messed up. We're in the famine of the word that you can't even say things, or you got to use acronyms. Well, we're going to push this thing till it's time, man. Lord. Oh, and let me also add that this woman said that woman typically does about 2/3 of the work around the house, as if there needs to be some accolades or acknowledgement for that. When you are a parent, okay, you do whatever it is you have to do as a parent, whether you are a male or a female. At least that's what I thought it was supposed to be. Right? They have, and this is why I went to the scriptures with the Mother's Day. Mother's Day is the one of the greatest holidays, but so-called Father's Day, you get what you get, right? Which we don't follow none of that. But the fact that that's something you're supposed to do as a mother. I don't know what the complaints is. That's my question. I understand the complaint about not having the jobs, but we just read the scriptures and why. But I can't understand the complaints about they're having to raise the children and you have to do a duty as a mother and do the 2/3 of the household chores, and it's not like there's as much labor in going to work anyway. At least I don't think so. It's not. At least I don't think so. Most of your labor-ready jobs are mostly held by men. Mostly. Anyway, it's just selectiveness. You know, 1 minute, all of a sudden, you're equal, and the next minute, there's an issue. Why was this labeled female recession instead of just recession in general? And there's no hate speech about that. It's just the truth. That's all I have on that. Shalom.